Hi there, it's Kim Carpenter, the founder of World Changing Women. Happy Friday to you. I hope you've had a fantastic week, and I surely have. So I just wanted to pop on and do this video for you and share a little bit about some of the magic that's happened for myself and my clients this week through making powerful declarations about our life and about what we want to create, what I want to create, what my clients are creating. It's been magical. And so I wanted to share some stories with you, and also kind of show you a little bit about what's possible for you inside of making powerful declarations too. So this past weekend, I was in Atlanta, Georgia for leadership training. I just started a year-long leadership training program, and so we had our first weekend with almost 1,000 people there. So it was a very full room. The chances of meeting everyone in the room is like zero, right? So so I tell you that for a reason that you'll find out in a minute. And so basically what happened was, on the first day of the leadership training, I was in my small group that was like 25 people, and I announced to them that my intention is to really catalyze groups of women, world-changing women, and to be a catalyst and be the coordinator and gatherer of these women, connecting these women together who really want to make a huge impact, positive impact in the world. And one idea I have is to have a national conference, perhaps even international conference, in spring of next year. And the vision for this conference is that world-changing women are showing up and are looking at where they want to have more influence in the world and getting support, but for that, you know, business support for that, but also really getting support from each other. So looking at how we can gather together, how we can organize under certain subject matters and topics. For example, I know a lot of my clients are concerned with changing the face of business so that it's more conscious, or they're looking at creating equality, gender parity, and equality of all types amongst people. And some of my other clients are looking at how do we change the face of education so that is more learner-centric, so that our youth are having the full support to become and evolve to their greatest selves. So inside of these different topics, I see us having a conference around that. And I have a vision that the conference will be sponsored by the United Nations. So I made a powerful declaration at the beginning of my leadership training that I will have a conference, that the conference is happening, right? So I'm standing in the future, it's spring of next year. The conference has already happened, and it is sponsored by the United Nations. And why the United Nations is, I see this organization doing tremendous things, especially through the global sustainability goals. And I see us looking at aligning with some of those goals in the initiatives that we're creating as world-changing women in the world. And so I made this declaration, and I really watched my language. And I noticed when I was saying, well, I want to have a conference by next spring, and I really hope excuse me, that I can make this conference happen, and it would be so great if it was sponsored by the United Nations. And I just watched all that happening in my mind, and I said, okay, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's a done deal. It's happening next spring. It's sponsored by the United Nations. A large group of women are coming together to look at how they can really show up and create positive change in the world. Like, no kidding, we're doing this thing. And that felt scary and edgy, but also really powerful at the same time. So that was on Friday night. So I go through the training seminar, and we have very long days, and we're in a room of 1,000 people, and we're switching seats to sit next to a couple different people. And on Sunday, the very last day and the very last session, I sit next to this lovely gentleman in a suit, And we had a partner sharing exercise, and he says, oh, Kim, I really want to get your cell phone number because I want to share about my project in the world, and I would love to hear about your projects. And so we're exchanging information. I said, what's your name and what do you do? And he looks at me and smiles, and he points to this pin on his lapel, and he says, I'm an ambassador. It's a United Nations symbol. And he says, I'm an ambassador at the United Nations. And I just laughed, and I said, of course you are. Of course you are. And I said, I'm supposed to meet you this weekend, and here's my vision. I'm having a conference in the spring. It's going to be sponsored by the United Nations. I've been waiting for my contact with the United Nations. And he said, Kim, and he looked me right in the eyes, and he said, I'm inviting you to the United Nations. I'm going to help you. And he said, I want to come to Austin and do a speaking engagement, and perhaps you and I can coordinate something together with World Changing Women. Perhaps we can both speak. And it just blew me away because of the magic in that, right? And it made me really reflect on making a powerful declaration. So that's one example. And I just want you to see how and I don't believe it like, oh, you just say something and then it always happens. We need to be in action in the world. We need to be showing up as the person or inside the situations that we're declaring to be true. And I don't want you to underestimate the power in simply making a declaration like that. So look and see in your life, where are you saying things like, well, it might be nice if, or I really hope that, or probably, I'll probably do that thing next spring, or maybe I could possibly do it by the spring, instead of just making a declaration, right? And if you can feel into that, post in the chat, let me know, what comes up for you when you think about making a super powerful declaration like that. What comes up for you? The other thing I wanted to share with you is something that happened for one of my clients this week when she made a powerful declaration. So we were in our Impact Lab group. I have the World Changing Women Impact Lab program, and I have 25 founding members in there with me. And we're all supporting each other in our world changing business visions. And one of my clients has been working very hard and mostly inside of other people's businesses, making other people millions of dollars, closing six-figure, 5- and 6-figure sales for other people's businesses. And she was very moved emotionally. And she just shared, you guys, I just got out of this huge launch. I did all these strategy sessions for somebody else. And I kept thinking every single one of those people could have been in my program. And I'm done with this. I am declaring I am done with this, and I am launching my own thing, and no more sales for other people. I am selling my own programs. And then right on top of that was, but I have to finish my website, and I really need to create graphic design, and I need to clarify my offers, and I need to all these things. And so we asked her, okay, stop. We asked her, how many people do you already know that you could have a conversation with to work with you? And she said, oh my gosh, I already have a waiting list of people that are just waiting for me to be ready to work with them. So as a community, we got behind her and we said, okay, you've just made this powerful declaration. Now declare that you're going to get some clients this week. And you don't need a website. So this is my encouragement to you. And I say it to myself at the same time. Take imperfect action. Make strong declarations. Take imperfect action. If you already have people waiting to work for you, they don't care if you have a website or not. So we encouraged her to call some people that were waiting to work with her and just make them an offer and create it. And that's exactly what she did. Within a couple of hours of our call being completed, she was on the phone. She had co-created the offer with the client on the phone, closed the deal, done deal, client number one. And then by the next day, she had a second client. So she's just on a roll now. So I really want to encourage you, these two things, make powerful declarations and look and see where you just need to take some action, right? So it's speaking in language, what you're declaring, and then being in action around it. Pick up the phone. I think so many people are waiting to have the perfect website and the perfect funnel and the perfect lead magnet and the perfect all of these things, and they're not in conversation and in communication with people. That's actually the key. It's old-fashioned and it's effective. So my encouragement to you would be write down, what are you declaring for yourself for the next week or the next month or the next year? And what are you going to be in action around? Okay, so that is my little Friday tidbit for you. Post in the comments, let me know what you think about this. I would love to hear from you. And please join us over in the Facebook group. We're having this conversation all the time about how can we be more effective in our world-changing business missions? How can we truly support each other? How can we crowdsource the solutions and the resources and the tools that we need? How can we leverage the community and the connections to get speaking gigs and to refine our marketing messages and things like that? So that's over at World Changing Women Rising. And I hope to see you over there. Have a fantastic weekend. Mwah. Lots of love.